I bet with interbet only. They're a fantastic site. I've never had any issues with them. They are very professional. There's never a problem. You deposit money, 2 seconds later it's in your account. You withdraw, which I do very occasionally, and I believe it's also 2 seconds it's in your account.
Well, on Daily News Day, featuring the Will Lavington and, of course, the Cup Trial and a few other features for the juvenile, we saw a place accumulated dividend in excess of 23,000 Rand. Would it surprise me if this place accumulator pays thus much? No, it won't. And you need all the help here in race number 3. It's a maiden plate over 1,400 meters, so let's have a look at our rerun with Sleek as Silk, who finished 4th, and then we got interviews with Rachel Vinegar for Michael Roberts, Paul Lafferty, and Garrett Van Zyl.
Namakwa Dove onto the 300-meter marker. Ladies' Day. Guest Getrix is lugging to the inside, and it's looking good for Namakwa Dove coming to the 200-meter marker. Namakwa Dove and Richard Ferree blasting away. They're not for the catching. And going to the post, Namakwa Dove breaking out of the maiden jail by 2. Maybe in second, Guest Getrix.
Yes, I think we gave him 8 or so kilos. So this time again, I'll be watching out for the 2-year-olds, but she's doing well at home, and we'll be hoping for another top run.
Yeah, I think so. She's a lovely filly. I think it was a sparkling debut. I think she's got a massive chance if she stays. Muzi knows her. And a major runner, definitely for me.
Yes, Raheel. She was quite green first time out, which does give you a bit of a concern going now to a different track. However, we're trying to keep her on the turf. And she's a filly that's definitely progressive. And she's a horse that I would not exclude in this race.
Well, thanks to Paul Lafferty, we may have just found the banker in the first leg of the place accumulator, and his stable's red hot. I think he had 2 runners, 2 winners during the course of the week. Stable's going well, and the results are clear to see. He saddles number 7, Sleek as Silk, who ran a very good race behind Namakwa Dove, who finally caught the right wave from the Glen Cotson stable. She was coming off a break as well. The one thing that I don't see often with Paul, over the years, got to know him, he doesn't back his horses up this quickly. So this filly, she must have really taken that run well, because it's just 12 days since her last start. So she must be jumping out of her skin.
Absolutely, and the step up in trips going to suit her down to the ground. She only got the hang of things late on in the day, last time out these, when beaten by Namakwa Dove. Now I know it wasn't the strongest of races, and she's a horse that may have just needed the run, 1,000 meters on the shorter side for her. Now stepping up in trip at Hollywood at Scottsville. I think that's the key with Muzieni retaining the ride. I think the trip's going to suit her nicely. Scottsville on the turf will suit her nicely. And I think Sleek as Silk can get it right for Paul Lafferty. And as you touched on, his stable is in some cracking form. And I'm looking for Sleek as Silk to hopefully come through with Muzieni aboard. Now, I want to get your opinion on this horse, Forged in Ice, before we touch on the other 2-year-olds. Forged in Ice just touched off last time out behind My Sharia Moore, who had bottom weight, 52 kgs. Is she a runner that you think could beat the 2-year-olds in this lineup?
I think that she needed a bit of time. What I'm going to say is that she needed a bit of time, and they gave her the time, because you can see that she had a nice break from December through to March, and then she's had 3 runs on the bounce, and they've been improved runs, and the blinkers seem to have helped as well. She was close up. The one runner to come out of there was Montrezl running second in a work riders behind coming in out, so it's not bad. And I think she's coming along nicely. She will be a popular choice for the place accumulator as well. I'll keep a very close eye on race number 1, because we'll see how this horse goes here. Number 11, Time Chaser, coming from that Canadian summer form line, because if that filly runs well, what she finished, she ran 3rd. This horse, Girl of Traganta and Zinekele, they went too far behind her that day, and I think there's lots of scope for improvement to come from both 10 and 11. Of course, 10, she did have the run of the race. She raced up handy, she stayed on. She was well beaten behind Canadian Summer and, of course, Egret, who's been disappointing since. But this filly is in Kele. You have to watch that replay, because She wasn't pushed to get a position early. She was just left where she was comfortable, and I could see she darted to the inside on that running rail, and she was making up some nice ground. Both of them have poor draws to overcome, but I think the improvement is with 10 and 11, and the key to them performing well, besides their well-being, will be how this horse runs in race number 1, Time Chaser.
Absolutely, and horse number 10 and 11, they both could feature. And then number 12, Feeling Groovy, who was fancied last time out, beaten behind the stable companion My Sharia More and Forgy Nice, drawn wide this time out, 2.5 kgs off the back, and she goes over 14 once again. Do you think she's a runner that you must include into the first leg of the PA, or perhaps you can go a bit lighter?
Yeah, between 3 and 12 again, I can't see much between them. Of course, advantage to number 3 with regards to the draw. That's why, at the outset of the show I said, if you get through with the minimum Sebendia and the place accumulator, you've done well. We've spoken about 5 runners in numerical order, 3, 7, 10, 11, and 12. If I put 3 runners, well, am I guaranteed to see myself through the place accumulator? I doubt it. I'm not saying that it's cut and dry here. Paul Lafferty seems to like his horse a lot. Rachel Vinica seems to like her filly. Although we haven't spoken about Peter Muscat's runner with interviews and Glenn Cotson's runner, we heard from Garrett as well that his filly is an improver in the race. So I think it's a tough start to the place accumulator. If I have to tip, I'm going to tip 10, 11, 7, and then a toss-up between 2 and 12. 3 and 12, I'll go 3. So I'm going to go 10, 11, 7, and 3.
Yeah, I'm going to be in the camp of number 7, D, Sleek as Silk for Paul Lafferty. I'm hoping that the good form does continue, and I'm going to go 7, 10, 3, 12. And I'm just in the 11, I'm not as confident as you are, so maybe a horse for those trifectas and quartets. Horse number 11, Zinekile from the Garrett Van Zyl yard.
Okay, all the best if you're playing a place accumulator. There are some horses that look bankers later on the card, but leg 1 of this place accumulator looks very tricky.
My name's Danny Diliberto, founder of Ladles of Love. It was founded back in 2014. Communities we work with are all over the peninsula, and we're working with 138 beneficiaries now. We've grown exponentially. We've been able to do that because of all the kindness that we have experienced from individuals and corporates such as Interbet, who just want to be part of the change.